Hey everyone, it's Shannon and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am filming such a requested video, and that is how I edit my Instagram photos. I've been having so many DMs asking for this video, so I thought I would sit down and film it. Now I'm completely happy with how I edit. I feel like at the start of lockdown when I was starting to get into Instagram, like I literally had no clue about editing, and now I feel like I know like a little bit more. Obviously not a lot, but like when I look back, I was like, oh my god, I was literally clueless. So yeah, like I say, I'm kind of still learning a little bit. However, I feel like I've kind of got my editing style to how I like it at the moment. So yeah, if you like this video, then please make sure to smash the thumbs up button and of course subscribe down below. But yeah, let's just get into the video. Okay, so before we get into how I actually edit my photos, I just thought I would quickly run you guys through how I take my photos. So for my inside photos, I use my ring light. This is a newer ring light. I paid about like £80 for this ring light. Honestly, it's the best investment I've made ever. I will try and link it down below if I can. Loads of people ask me to link this ring light and half the time it's sold out, but if it's not, then I will link it down below. It's honestly amazing. And it comes with a clicker, so I literally will just stand by a white wall or whatever and just click away for a good hour, and then I'll rummage through and find a photo that I like, or if not, I'll continue going. Honestly, it does take me a very long time to get a photo that I like. I feel like recently, like, it sounds really cringe, but like as I've started to kind of know my angles a bit more, maybe it's not as well. Yeah, I still do take a million photos, but yeah, I'm really kind of indecisive. Also, one thing I find with taking photos is that like put them and like sometimes you will find your gem and be like, that's the photo that looks so sick, and like that's great. However, sometimes you'll be like, oh my god, there's no nice ones here. Take a step away from the photo and from the camera roll and come back in like the next day or like a couple of hours time with a fresh mind, because I've done it so many times. I've gone, oh my god, I hate them all, and then like the next day I've gone back and thought, oh my god, like I like 5 of them. It's so weird. That's one thing. Like, don't get too disheartened if you think you haven't got a good photo, because trust me, half the time I go back and I'm like, oh my god, I've got too many to choose from. And for my background, I do just have a white plain wall because I do like my fashiony pose. So obviously the clothes, I'd rather my clothes stand out. When I'm going taking photos outside, I also try to look for quite like plain or more grungier backgrounds, because that's sort of like my style, like baggy jeans and stuff. So sometimes I'll go for like black or like metal or like car park. Majority of the time, if I see a white wall outside, obviously the lighting is so much different when you take a photo outside. So when I see a white wall outside, I'm like, oh, I need a picture there. But yeah, when I take my outside photos, me and my friend Elizabeth Louise, I'll pop her Instagram on the screen, we have met a couple times and gone out, got changed in the cars, and just taken photos of each other. One thing I'll say is that the sun is not your friend. Like, you do not want to be going out and taking photos when it's sunny. Like, for one photo, maybe it's all right if you're like aesthetic, like glowy sun. However, the majority of the time is honestly your worst nightmare. We found that out the hard way. Literally walking around sweating, the sun is beaming, my face is like that, just could not get a good photo. Honestly, it was an absolute nightmare. So that is one thing I'll say, is that overcast days and clouds are a lot better. Golden hour sun is also good. Like, I did get a good photo on golden hour sun the other day. Now it's summertime, it gets darker a lot later, but I find it like 7 o'clock is like a really good time for me to go out and take photos. But yeah, my friend Elizabeth obviously takes my photos for me when we do that. However, she does live like 40 minutes away from me, so if we obviously can't meet or whatever, then my boyfriend takes them for me. Slowly getting better. I'm slowly like teaching him, so hopefully he will know my angles better than me soon. So yeah, he does have to traipse around with me sometimes if I need to take a photo. I don't make him do it all the time. It's mainly if like a brand has sent me something that I need to take a photo in, I want it to be outside or whatever, then that's when he does have to take a photo for me. He forgot the most important thing. So I take my photos on my iPhone 11 Pro back camera all day every day. I find the front camera just like really discolors my face. Like, I just absolutely hate the front camera on this phone. Like, Apple still hasn't sorted out that switch face thing, which is really bugging me. Like I say, it's not the worst, however the quality is just nowhere near as good. I personally don't think it's taking it on the back camera. So even when I'm inside taking my photos with the clicker, I do just do back camera and just like play around with the camera for a bit and get the right angle. So 100% back camera all the way. Another little thing is that when I take my photos on my back camera and I scroll through my camera, I don't know if it's just because me, because I don't have a lot of storage, but when I scroll through, I'm like, oh my god, why are all these photos blurry? But when you double tap, the photo goes like so much more clearer, like when you double tap on the photo. I didn't know that for absolutely ages, so I'm going through deleting all my photos thinking, oh my god, why are they so blurry, thinking that something wrong with my camera or something. Just turns out that I'm guessing Apple does it to like save some of your storage so the photo isn't in proper high definition straight away. So double tap the photo and then it'll be so much clearer, and honestly it makes the photo look so much more different. There's been photos I've absolutely hated, double tapped and clicked and think, oh my god, it's actually a nice photo. So that's another little tip. So I'm going to stop rambling on now and actually show you guys how I edit my photos. Just quickly, as you guys know, I do film on my phone, so I've had to download the apps onto my mum's phone. First app is Facetune. I do have Facetune, normal Facetune and Facetune 2. Facetune 1 you have to pay for, so I've just screen recorded from my phone, sent over to my mum so I can talk you through just this first quick step. As you guys will see on the screen now, this is the first photo that I'm going to edit. This is the one that I take in the downstairs bathroom, just because I think the lighting is so much better down there. It looks a lot more natural. I used to take my photos in my corner of my room. However, the lighting, now I've just discovered, is just absolutely awful. Like, it's not the worst. I feel like I did get a lot of compliments on my feed. However, I'll talk you guys through a bit more about that in a bit. But this is the first photo. As you can see, downstairs toilet, not sure you guys can see, but in the bottom corner there is loo roll, so we want to completely get rid of that. Facetune, like I say, you have to pay for. Kind of wish I didn't now, because I found the same sort of tool on Pixar. Pixar's like my friend, I love it. And the other thing with Facetune is that when you use the tools, you can't, they have quite a few, but you can't actually choose which, like the strength of each tool, whereas on Facetune 2 you can. So like sometimes the smooth is just too sharp. But anyway, for this I use the patch tool. As you guys can see, I've just gone onto it, and then you can just tap on the screen and then like move the other thing around and just patch it away. It's not like best sometimes, but it does just get rid of it. As you guys can see, I've just completely got rid of the loo roll. Sometimes I'll blur that out if I need to. But yeah, like no one wants loo roll in their photos. That is the first step, and then I go into Lightroom. I hadn't discovered Lightroom for a long time. I heard people talk about it and I just for some reason just was against it. I don't even know why. But yeah, I go into Lightroom and I absolutely love Lightroom. Like, you need Lightroom if you don't have it. Like, it's literally unreal. It's changed my editing life. First thing I do is sometimes I click on the auto effect and just see if I like it or not. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just kind of depends. But today I'm not really feeling it. So basically every single photo I do is kind of a little bit different. You really do have to play around with the effects. So obviously how I do it might not work for your photo. Sometimes I turn the exposure up or down. It depends how dark the photo is. But because this photo is quite light, I think I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. And then contrast, I might just turn up a little bit. Highlights, again, probably just turn them down. I would literally just get the thing and go up and down and see what I prefer, but I feel like I'm going to turn the shadows up quite a lot. As you guys can already see, like, it's a lot different. It makes me look a bit more defined, which is something that I really like. And then this is my favorite thing, is the whites and blacks tool, because you can turn up the whites, which means before I used to go onto Facetune 2 and like whiten the background. However, with this I don't need to do that anymore. I just turn up the whites quite a bit, and then as I've got a black top on, I just turn the blacks down a bit. Again, that also kind of, the black kind of gives it a bit more of like a sharper defined look. That's how I find it anyway, especially because I've got a black top on. So yeah, then I'll just turn the blacks down quite a bit and the whites up, and that is the main bit I do on this section. I will then go on to the color section, and I basically just turn the vibrance up a little bit on this, and then sometimes I'll turn the saturation down just a little bit, but I always turn up the vibrance in pretty much all of my photos. As you can see, like, the difference is crazy. And then I will just probably turn the saturation down literally by like the tiniest bit. And then this is a little trick for you guys if you want to have a little bit of a tan. So is if you go onto the color mix and then you go onto luminance down the bottom, you can actually turn the luminance down and it makes you look a little bit more tan. So sometimes when I'm feeling a bit pale, I might just turn the luminance down a little bit, not gonna lie. But again, that all just kind of like depends on the photo, so I might just turn down the luminance just a little bit. The one thing I will say with this is that you can actually like depending on the colour that you're wearing. So if I'm wearing like a pink top, I can go on to the pink or purple section. It kind of depends. Sometimes I'll be wearing a pink top, but the purple section works better. And you can like enhance the colour, and sometimes this is so good to just kind of like enhance the colour of something that you're wearing or something. Just makes it look a little bit nicer all round and a bit more fresh. So I will then go on to the detail tool, and the one thing I absolutely love about this is that the sharpening tool on this is so good. Like I could do like maximum sharpening and it still looks natural. So yeah, usually I do the sharpening on this quite high, because that's the one thing is that I always sharpen my photos a lot, because Instagram loves to do this thing where like when you post, it like reduces the quality of your photos so much, and honestly it is so annoying. So yeah, I usually sharpen it to around about 80, and then they also have this thing called noise reduction, which is a game changer. Again, like if I've got like a really patchy tan or something, or I really need to smooth my skin, then I will definitely go into Facetune 2. However, the majority of the time now I just use the noise reduction tool, because that kind of like blurs your skin a little bit. Like look at that, how crazy is that? So that is pretty much everything I do in Lightroom. It just makes me look a little bit more fresh, gives me a bit of colour. I will then go into Colourtone, which is like my all-time favourite app. I literally love this. This was the one that I discovered during lockdown, and which loads of people said that they love my feed. I will put a picture of my Colourtone, I call it my Colourtone feed here, and I loved how the filter made my photos look. However, like looking at it as a whole, I don't know how you guys feel about it. Let me know down below in the comments. I just feel like it makes my feed look really fake and like not as natural. So I'm trying to go for the natural vibes at the moment. Just load the photo into Colourtone and I will show you guys. So I just go on to edit, and the two filters are Maldives and Uluwatu. That's what I want to say. So Maldives is really good, again, if you want a bit of a tan. Obviously, like I'm really ridiculously dark there, but if you turn it down, kind of gives yourself a nice little glow. So that's how I sometimes use that depending on the photo, but I'm an Uluwatu gal because I like to have my feed kind of looking similar. So then I will go on to the Uluwatu effect. So this is at 100, and as you can see, like the photo does look nice. Like I do enjoy how the photo looks, but like I say, on a whole in a feed, like it just doesn't look that great. It does look quite fake. So as much as I love the filter like this, I think before I used to have it on like 70 or something, I want to say, and like I say, the photo does look lovely, but as a whole not so much. So now I literally have it on like 20, maybe 20 or 30 depending on, so we'll go 25. It just brightens up the background and gives that little tinge to the photo, which I love. Like I do love the effect and how it makes the photo look. So that is what I do in Colourtone. I also do sharpen it again, like I literally sharpen it in every single app. I also sharpen it when I go into Instagram, so that's another thing that I do. And then as you can see, this sharpening tool is way more dramatic than the other one, so I literally sharpen it like plus 15 maybe, because it is just super harsh. That is the photo and how I edit it. So that is the photo for my inside photo. So I'll quickly run you through how I edit my outside photos. Like I say, they are pretty much the same, but yeah, just run you guys through it. So this is the photo I'm going to edit for my outside photo. You guys seem to love this photo on Instagram. Before I will show you guys how I edit it, and not gonna lie, if you look at this to the Instagram photo, it does look quite a bit different. However, you got to do what you got to do. For this photo, I feel like I look a bit pale, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna turn the exposure down again, like a little bit, and the contrast up, just because the contrast gives a little bit more color to the photo. Highlights again, have a little play, probably gonna turn them up actually, and then shadows down, 100% shadows down for this, and whites up of course, and then blacks down again. And then this is where the colour thing plays a part, because I will definitely be going on to the green and like turning up the colour of the green, turning myself down, giving myself a bit more of a tan, and of course turning the vibrance up. And then detail again, sharpening, and noise reduction. So I have loaded the photo into Colourtone, and when I took this photo I edited it straight away, and that was kind of when I was at my old editing days, where I would go quite a bit more heavier, I guess, with the Colourtone effects, and then I kind of had it in my pending feed for ages, and then I kind of wanted to re-edit it in my new kind of style. However, I just didn't like the photo like that. Like, I preferred how I edited it the first time, so I did upload it like that. But usually with my outside pics, I do the same as the last one, and it's kind of like 20 minimal color tone edits if I can. I just kind of like how the Uluwatu effect brightens up the photo a little bit and then like kind of makes it a bit more whiter. So that's kind of how I do my normal outside pics, minimal edits as possible. But this one, I will show you how I actually did do it, because I liked how this photo came out, and also it's a little trick for you guys as well. I basically use both effects. So I use the Maldives effect at about 30, I want to say, and then I will save that. This is what it looks like at full capacity, by the way, in case any of you guys were wondering. Like, I do kind of like how it looks, but anyway, yeah, I'll do it at like 30, and then I will save that to my camera roll. And then I have just re-imported the photo into color tone again, and then I will use the effect Uluwatu a little bit again, probably at about, that is it at full capacity, but probably about 30 again, I want to say. Yeah, and then I will sharpen it again, and that's basically how I edited that photo. I'm pretty sure that's kind of, obviously the numbers might be a little bit out, but that is basically how I edited that photo, and I just really loved how that looked and how it looked on my feed. I also use the app Feed Preview as I try to like plan my content out in the app and like rearrange and see how like I want my photos to go. But yeah, I just really loved how this photo looked overall. So that is how I edit both my inside and outside photos. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, then please make sure to smash the thumbs up button, and of course subscribe down below. And yeah, I will see you all in my next video.